Okay, yes. Yes, you're welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for taking our time this cold afternoon, Saturday or Saturday afternoon. Thank you so much. Like I mentioned, I'm going to record this because at the end of this call, I'm going to share this recording with you. And please feel free to share with your family and friends. All right. So as soon as you keep joining in, please just drop in the comment box, drop in the chat. Let me know what city we have represented in the room. I like to know, and I just want us to keep this rolling. Over the next 75 minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a foundation because there is a lot. I would lie to you if I tell you that I can tell you everything about investing in Canada in 75 minutes. That's not true. But what I will do for you in the next 75 minutes is I'm going to give you the foundation. That way, you can start investing with confidence. At least you know where to start from. Because in recent times, what I've heard people tell me is, Tolu, I don't even know where to start from. So I want to take out the confusion. I want to help you take out the confusion. I want to help you take out the guessing. And another thing is, I don't want you to feel like you are already behind. Um, if you're starting today, today is a good time to start. Yes, yesterday was a great time to start, but thankfully we have another opportunity. So there's no point crying over spilled milk. We're going to start today and we're going to be consistent and we're going to run really hard. We're going to run really hard because we know that, oh my goodness, I should have started yesterday. But you know what? I'm starting today and I need to run as fast as possible. Let me just see in the comments. Let me see where people are joining from. Toronto, London, Calgary, Ontario, Windsor. Oh my goodness. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Let's continue. So let me tell you first and foremost what we are going to discuss. We are going to talk about, like I said, we're going to talk about how investing works in Canada. We're going to look at why newcomers decide not to start investing soon enough. And we're going to see how expensive it is when you decide that you want to wait for the perfect time before you start investing. This is not to put you under pressure, but this is just to enlighten you, to make you understand that please stop waiting. You do not have any excuse to wait, right? You do not need to know everything before you start. When you get along, you will pick up the process. All you need is just you need a system, you need a structure, you need consistency, if you get what I mean. So that's what we're going to do in this 75 minutes class. And please let me be clear from the onset. I'm not teaching in this masterclass how to become a trader because I myself am not a trader. So I don't buy and sell stocks every day. I don't look at the stock market and I'll be predicting which price is going to go down, which price is going to come up. That's not what this masterclass is all about. This masterclass is about building something that is calm, building something that is intentional, and building something that is for the long term. So what I want you to do is I want you to be able to build a portfolio that quietly supports your financial future. And what will happen is you can build this portfolio and still focus on other things in life that means a lot to you. And most especially because quite a number of us are immigrants, building our lives in Canada, because quite a number of things are quite different, right? So we can do that quietly, building our lives and still building our portfolio so that we can have something to help with our financial future. Okay, you know what? I'm so sorry. I told you that once I start this thing, I get carried away. Let me just change the slides. Okay, yes. So let's jump into the housekeeping rules. Please mute yourself. Try to limit distractions, and I want you to give yourself the permission to be fully present. The truth is, this masterclass can change how you think about investing, but you can only get the best of it if you are here, if you are fully present. I understand that our cameras are off and no pressure. Please, it's okay. Feel free to put your cameras off. But what I'll ask of you is please use the emojis. If there's something that I have said that resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up. I love feedback. I love feedback. And these virtual sessions, they're a bit awesome, right? But I like to see people's face. I like to see their facial expression. Because when I say something that doesn't go down well, somebody might just frown, and I'm like, okay, maybe this person didn't get it. But since we can't do that, what I'll ask is please use the emoji buttons, thumbs up, thumbs down if there's something I said that you didn't understand, the light bulbs. That will keep us engaged. And as we go along, if you have any questions, please jot them down. At the end of the session, we're going to take questions. I'll try as much as possible to answer everybody's question on this call, right? I'll stay on this call till everybody's question is answered. So does that make sense? If that makes sense, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'm waiting to see the thumbs up. Did they come and I didn't see it? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. So everything I'll share with you today is meant to help you move forward. Like I mentioned earlier, whether you decide that, okay, you want to work with me or you decide that you want to figure it out yourself, I want you to be able to move forward. But that being said, if at the end of this masterclass you feel like my guidance is a good fit for you, I'll show you how you can work with me closely. And this is in no way any form of pressure. It's just about clarity. Right. So let's jump right into today. Quite a number of people said they saw my Facebook ad, and I really want to say thank you because I know that there are thousands of ads flying on social media, but for you to have decided that you wanted to come on this, I am grateful. I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Tolu, like you all know, and I am a chartered accountant, and I have worked for over 10 years in the finance space, finance, accounting, management, accounting, tax, and all of those stuff. I graduated from Vancouver Island University with a distinction in finance. I'm saying this because I want you to understand that I understand finance from both a theoretical perspective and from a practical point of view. I know how these things work because I myself, I am on this journey. And over the years, I've helped over a dozen newcomers kickstart their investment journey, most especially in the stock market. So, um, obviously, I'm a Nigerian. And before I came to Canada, I had always invested in the Niger. Oh my God. Please, you guys should please bear with me. I know, I told you that I get carried away, but I'll try to be changing my slides. I'll try to be changing my slides, this thing. So we've gone about me. So I'm going to tell you my personal story. Back in Nigeria, I used to invest in the stock market. And when I got to Canada, I came in as an international student, by the way. When I came, I thought that, oh, we'll just pick it up. It's business as usual. We'll continue from where we left off. But when I came to Canada, I realized that, oh my goodness, their rules are different. The accounts are different from what we have. And in my opinion, there were just a lot of accounts. I was like, which is which? I'll hear FHSA, I'll hear TFSA, RRSP, I'll hear non-registered. And on top of it, they'll tell you that there's the savings, there's the investment. I'm like, okay, where do I start from? Honestly, even as an accountant, because even as an accountant and even as a finance student, it felt a bit overwhelming, I must tell you the truth. And it felt intimidating. And I was a bit like, who do I tell that I'm an accountant and I can't understand how these things work? But I kept telling myself that I'll start one day, I'll start later. But that one day, one later, one day, one thing, one later, I kept procrastinating. Not one thing, one day. But what I'm trying to say is I kept procrastinating, right? But something shifted for me. And it did not shift because I had more money. Because, like I mentioned, I came in as an international student. So it was not like I brought in all the money that I had at that point in time. I had invested into my schooling because I came in as a full-time international student. But what shifted for me was that I discovered exchange traded funds in my finance class. That was when I realized that, oh my goodness, investing can be very simple. All I need is a structure around it. So I started with just $50 on Wealth Simple. I'm sure you must have heard Wealth Simple, Wealth Simple, Wealth Simple. I'll tell you what Wealth Simple is along the line, but it's just an investment app that you can use to buy and sell shares, ETFs, or any kind of um, option or any kind of instrument that is sold and bought on the stock market. And with that $50 I started with on Wealth Simple, it changed everything for me. It changed everything for me. It eased out the fear. Not only did it ease out the fear, it eased out or took out the noise because all of those things just sounded to me like noise. Like I mentioned, TFSA, there were so many, and those names sounded really long, and they sounded, if you can relate with what I'm saying, let me see a thumbs up. If you can relate, like all those names sounded so long, they sounded like they were so complex. But I realized that it wasn't that difficult. It's not a big deal. All you need to do is just understand. And that helped me to stop guessing. And that helped me to start building. And I started building my portfolio bit by bit. What this did was not necessarily only building of the portfolio, but it did give me confidence. And it now helped me to become more intentional with my investing. I had passive income, of course. And like I mentioned, I had confidence and the momentum, and my investment is growing. Like I mentioned, my investment is growing. God is helping. God is helping. But we haven't gotten there, but we are pushing. And now that's why what I do now is I help other immigrants to start. But I help them to start not by hyping them up. What I do is I give them clear structure and steps. And that's what we are going to be doing in today's masterclass. What you're going to see in this masterclass or in all of my presentations, right? What you're going to see is you're not going to see numbers, you're not going to see jargon, because I believe so much in simplicity and I believe in clarity. So the outcome you are going to see is that at the end of the day, I want you to feel calm about investing. I want you to know the next step when it comes to investing. And I want you to be confident that you can build your investment portfolio by yourself, even if you are not a numbers person. That means you do not need to rely on a financial advisor to get started. That's what I want you to take out from this masterclass. So that after this masterclass, you know the next first step to take, just in case you haven't started anything at all. Does that sound like a plan? Awesome. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Bukola. Thank you, Bukola Salako, for answering. Just a thumbs up will be fine also. Just it. Absolutely. Thank you, Damola. Thank you, Damola. Thank you. So I want us to do something. If you have a note, if you have your phone notepad, or if you are that traditional person like me that likes your pen and paper, I want us to do a quick check-in. And there's no right or wrong answer to this. This is about you. This is about what you look forward to, and I want you to write it down. Can you still hear me clearly? Okay, great. So, my first question to you is, if you started investing today, even with a small amount, how much could you have a year from now? I want you to write it down. I'm going to give you just about 2 seconds to write it down. If you start investing today, a year from now, with the smallest amount, a year from now, how much do you think you could have invested? If you wrote down yours, just give me a thumbs up. I'm just trying to check the chat if there is any comments. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Great. Great. The next question I'm going to ask you is, I want you to picture yourself opening your investment accounts like this World Simple or probably Quest Trade, which are the two investment accounts that I'll be recommending, but majorly World Simple. I want you to picture yourself opening your account and seeing your money grow quietly and seeing your money work for you quietly month after month. How would that make you feel? I also want you to write that down, please. I want you to write that down because there's power so much in writing. I believe so much in writing. Some years back, while you are writing that down, I'll just tell you a quick story or quick reality check for me. Some years back, I wrote down to myself that if I had $100,000, what I was going to spend the $100,000 on. And I listed it. And I began to speak about it. For some people, they called me all manner of names. For some people, they were like, good for you, happy dreamer. And I'll tell you the truth. In less than 5 years, or maybe let me say 7 years, everything I wrote down, I like to say God because God is big for me. Everything I wrote down, I was able to actualize. But let me tell you something. I never had that $100,000 at a go. Do you get what I mean? What am I trying to say? There is power in writing. And that's why I'm saying that you should please write it down. Because you write these things down, and 1 year from now, if you are consistent, if you take action, you look back and you'll be like, wow, this was what I wrote down. So even outside of all of this, I want you to take it as a habit to write things down, right? If there's something you are looking forward to, I want you to write it down. So did you write down how you feel when you open your account and see your money working? Did you write that down? Yes, awesome. I like this person that wrote 1200 023 023. Would you like to unmute yourself? Let me hear you out. Do you want to share in the first place? I don't know the person's name, but it says 023. That's what I see on the chat. You wrote 1200. Can you please give us some insight? Do you want to share number one? Please unmute yourself. Feel free to unmute yourself. 023. Can you unmute yourself and tell us the 1200 you wrote? Is that the amount you want to have invested 1 year from now, like 1200? Okay, maybe we should not keep it long. Maybe 023. I don't want to call you 023. Please feel free to drop your name or tell us your name. Okay, what I plan $100 monthly. Awesome, awesome. And I always tell people, thank you for sharing. Thank you. And I always tell people, start from where you are, start from what makes you comfortable. Samuel, thank you, Samuel. Start with what makes you comfortable and to thyself be true. And I always tell people, please don't borrow money to invest in the stock market. Don't borrow money because you are in it for the long term. Right. So I see a lot of comments. Thank you. I see happy. I see excited. And I don't know what else I see. Let me see. What else do I see? But thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. What do I see? Okay. I think I saw some happy. Yes. Yes. You will feel happy. Now to the very deep question. A year from now, what kind of investor do you want to be? Let me give you some ideas. Do you want to be that investor that is still trying to figure it out? Or do you want to be someone who is investing with clarity, confidence, and consistency? I want you to also write that down. What kind of investor do you want to be at the end of like 1 year from now? I'm saying 1 year because I just want you to give yourself time. Glad and fulfilled to see growth. I want you to do it for yourself. Okay, I think this person is saying, I want to do it for myself. Consistent investor with clarity. Thank you. Consistent investor with clarity. I'm glad. I'm glad because those are the people that I want on this call. Those that want consistency, those that want clarity, those that want confidence. Because the truth is the difference actually when you're building your portfolio is not necessarily the intelligence. Neither is it necessarily about the plenty money that you have. It's about direction. It's about knowing what you want and doing it consistently, taking action. It's about taking action. So now that we have all written that down, please, I want you to keep that at the back of your mind. I want that to be what keeps you motivated. I want that to be what keeps you moving. Are we together? A thumbs up if we are still together. I would appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So let's get started. Let's jump into it. Why do many newcomers, why do they not start investing? I know you can see my screen, but I want us to be quite interactive, right? What has stopped you from starting to invest? Is there anybody that is happy and comfortable to just unmute themselves and tell me if there's something outside of this list that you can see that has stopped you from starting to invest? Please, I'd like to hear. And I would really appreciate if somebody can unmute themselves and speak to me.
Okay, I would want to go first.
Thank you. Thank you, Bukola. I
Okay,
celebrate you. I
all
celebrate you.
right.
Thank you. Go ahead, go
Uh,
for it.
I want to say sometimes is when you're For me, when I came in, I would say that I wasn't really completely settled.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of struggle around you even still trying to find your feet even within the country,
Yeah.
particularly with respect to maybe your status
Mm-hmm.
and also job. So, and you're like looking at it, oh, I'm still trying to struggle to balance, how do I say, to make ends meet, at
Yeah.
least be able to feed parents and all that. And you're now investment at that time might not really be the first thing in your,
Awesome.
that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Bukola. This is a very sensitive issue, which is very critical that you just touched on. Because the truth is, even though I say, oh, you should have started investing yesterday, yesterday was the best time. My sister, na person wey chop na im dey invest o. Allow me to speak. Let me say it in proper English. Pardon me, please, if you didn't understand what I just said. I just spoke in broken English. But you need to cover your four walls before you start investing. What do I mean by your four walls? Your rent, your transportation, your feeding, and your clothing, especially where we found ourselves in Canada, where you can't wear winter clothes in summer. So, truthfully, which is a very sensitive topic that she has just mentioned, that you really need to be able to figure that part out, right? So I'm not blaming anybody if you haven't started. And like I said, please don't let anybody gaslight you. What's the right word now? Don't let anybody make you feel bad like, oh, I have $1 million in my portfolio. I have good for you. Thank you. You are showing me the possibility. You are showing me that I can also do it. And the day that you are ready is the day you are ready. And most importantly, like she said, your status, because you really need, I know some people find it a bit sensitive, but please pardon me. I'm not trying to spite anybody. Neither am I trying to, because I know status is a very personal issue when we discuss status, especially among immigrants in Canada. I know it's private and I really do not like to say anything that would become a pain point for somebody that is trusting for whatever it is. But the truth is, for you to be able to open an investment account, you actually need a social insurance number. Right. You need a social insurance number. So thank you so much, Bukola, for sharing. Thank you for bringing up those points. Usually, I don't like to touch on it because I kind of feel it's very sensitive. But the truth is, these are very pertinent issues that can hinder newcomers from investing. Thank you so much. Does anybody want to say something else? Okay, so that I don't waste too much of your time because there's still a lot to unpack. There is the overwhelm of options. That was where I was when I was. That was part of my concerns when I wanted to start investing. I was like, where do I start from? What do I start with? I don't even know. And in most recent times, I've also heard people talk about the fear of making mistakes, which is very expensive. I've seen people make mistakes, lose thousands of dollars on the stock market because they did not follow a system. Because trust me, as you go along, you'll see that the stock market is not to win on the stock market for the long term. It's not about making random guesses. Neither is it about following the trend, right? It's not about, oh, today this is what they say is selling, then you go and jump into it. Because honestly, I don't know that there's anybody that can time or predict what the stock market will do tomorrow, next tomorrow, not even to talk of 1 year or 10 years from now, right? Another reason why I see people not starting is they say, I need clearance and I need guidance. Some other people is like, I just need a step by step. And I am a kind of person that I like step by step things. So maybe because I'm an accountant, I'm like, okay, what is step one? What is step two? What is step three? Then I think one thing which I don't know who's, well, that was it in before, but today it's very different. People thinking that they need a lot of money before they start investing in the stock market. Yes, in time past, especially when you wanted to use, even up to now, if you want to use financial advisors, there are some financial advisors that will tell you if you don't have up to $10,000, sorry, we can't start any kind of discussion. But thanks to all of these simple investment apps, most especially Wealth Simple, and I hear even now Quest Trade, because when I started investing, Quest Trade was taking minimum $1,000. So for me that had only $50 to start at that time, Quest Trade was like, I'm sorry, Tolu, you're not our customer. But thanks to platforms like Wealth Simple. So please disabuse your mind from that thought that, oh, I need a lot of money to get started. Please don't forget, jot down your questions just for us to cut down on time. Because once I start answering questions, I might deviate from what we have to do today, but I really want us to get into everything. So jot down your questions and I'll get back to your questions when we begin to answer questions. So those are some of the reasons why I see that newcomers haven't started or why they haven't started investing in the stock market. But here's the truth, like I mentioned, the biggest opportunity today is that you do not need to pick the perfect stock. Your ability to be able to start investing with any amount and grow it consistently over time is the biggest advantage we have in our generation today. That's one of the biggest advantages we have in our generation. I skipped something. Another thing I think that people wait, they think that, oh, I need a perfect time. But here's what I want you to understand, that if you start investing $300 monthly today, and let's just say the modest return, and the modest return I've gotten since I started investing, I think I started investing probably 2020, let's say 2019. Okay, let's just give it rough like 5 years away or even more from now. The lowest return I've gotten is 10%. But just for the sake of theory, for the sake of class, let's assume that the modest return you get is 6% per annum. If you kept consistently investing $300, you would have around $43,000 in your investment account. Compared to if you waited 1 year, there's loss in, you can get loss of nearly $5,000 in growth. So you see that waiting, it might feel like, oh, I'm just waiting. It's not expensive, but waiting is actually expensive, especially if you can start, but you are not starting because you are thinking that there is a best time to invest in the stock market. There is no best time to invest in the stock market. Does that make sense? Please give me a thumbs up if that made sense to you. That was one point that I jumped. So I don't want you to, once you're leaving this class today, please, I don't want you to think that you need to wait. I don't want you to think that, oh, there's a perfect time. I'm just trying to check the charts, if there's anything in the charts that there's a perfect time. There's no perfect time. Okay, somebody said less knowledge, less knowledge. Yeah, and that's why you're here because you also need knowledge, but you do not need all the knowledge, honestly, when you just start you will learn along the line. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, now let's go to how we can start investing in the stock market. Let me just change my slide. Please, let me just take a gulp of water. Yeah, so like I said, that all you need is consistency. And the truth is, investing in the stock market today is no longer just for the wealthy, unlike what it used to be before. It's today now for anyone who wants freedom, who wants control, and who wants flexibility. So let's go into the steps that you need to start investing. The first thing you need to know is you need to download the app. I've said Wealth Simple quite a number of times since we started this. The next thing is you need to pick the account that fits your goal. Then you fund that account, and that's how you start investing. But here's the thing, as easy as it sounds, it can still feel confusing, especially if you don't understand how these different accounts works. So in Canada, we have tax advantage accounts. What are tax advantage accounts? These are the accounts that the government have put in place to help you either not pay tax on the growth on that account or defer the growth on that, the growth, defer the tax on the growth on that account. Because you will realize, if we are true to ourselves, one of our biggest expense that we really cannot do anything about as Canadians or as people living in Canada is our taxes. We cannot shortcut our tax, right? We need to pay our taxes, especially for those that work a 9 to 5, even before the money hits your account. The government, they've already taken their own portion. But there are these advantage account they have created where if you use them, most especially for investing, not necessarily for savings, because if you are using them for savings, you are not making the most of them. But when you are using them for investing, you can take advantage and reduce your tax liability, either not pay tax at all or reduce your tax liability. I'll just quickly run through these different accounts. So we'll start with the TFSA account. The TFSA account is also referred to as a tax-free savings account. Now, please don't be deceived, because I was deceived when I first came. I thought it was like your normal savings account that you would save in the bank account. So with the TFSA, actually, there is the savings account and there is the investing account. To make the best of it, please remember that you need to use the investing account, not the savings account. So whatever growth you have on that investment account is not subjected to tax. And one great thing about the tax-free savings account is that it's very flexible. It's flexible for any goal. You can withdraw your money at any time. And when you withdraw the money, whatever growth you have on that amount you have invested in that account will not be subjected to tax. The RRSP, which is also referred to as the Registered Retirement Savings Plan, is quite different. That is restrictive because it's an account for saving for your retirement. And you can't just take money out of it just like that. There are reasons you can take money, but there are two reasons if you are buying your first home and if you are going back to school. But I don't want us to go deep, 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 deep into that because I want you to just know the first step. So with the RRSP, when you make contribution into that, it can help you to reduce your taxes. So you hear some people say, oh, I got a tax refund. Sometimes they get a tax refund because they have contributed into their RRSP account. And what happens is when they contribute into their RRSP account, whatever they've contributed, the government uses it to reduce their taxable income. And the lower their taxable income, the lower their liability. Now you need to understand this. Now the FHSA works similar to the RRSP. The FHSA is the first home savings account. This is for those that want to buy their first home in Canada. So you can invest in that account. I think you can invest up to $40,000 and whatever growth in that account will not be subjected to tax. And the good thing about the FHSA is when you are making withdrawal to buy your first home, you do not need to pay back. Unlike with the RRSP, if you make withdrawal before your retirement, you need to pay back. But with the FHSA, that's when you are buying your first home, you do not have to pay back when you withdraw to buy your first home. And if you then decide that, okay, the money I've invested in the FHSA, I don't want to buy my first home again, you can then dump it into your RRSP account. I know I've said so much. Have I lost anyone or we are still together? Especially this part. Did I lose anyone or we are still together? Lost. Oh my goodness. Abiola, okay. Please unmute yourself and tell me where I lost you. Although I see together, but let me just backtrack a bit. Abiola, please unmute yourself and tell me where I lost you. Or would you prefer to type in the chat box? Or would you just prefer to ask your questions later? Which would you like to do? Let me know, please, because I don't want you to be lost. Just the RRSP and the TFSA. Okay, so let me take that again a bit slower this time around. So the RRSP is basically like your retirement account, where the money in that account is basically meant, the government has designed it so that it can fund your retirement when you retire and you are no longer able to work and gain income. So now that you are working, they created an account where you can invest part of your income now into that account so that when you retire, you can then withdraw from that account to sustain your livelihood at that point in time. Whereas the tax-free savings account is a flexible account. You can use it for anything and you can withdraw from the tax-free savings account at any time. Now, because the tax-free savings account, there's no, and whatever growth on the tax-free savings account is not subjected to tax. But because it's not subjected to tax, you can't put in all the money you have. There are restrictions around that. But let's not even go deep. But with that, did you understand? Just give me a thumbs up or just tell me yes in the chat if that made sense to you. Awesome. Awesome. But you can still also jot your question if there was something that I said that you did not quite get clearly, and I can come back to that. Now, the non-registered account, with the non-registered account is not a tax advantage account. What do I mean by it being not a tax advantage account? What I mean is that whatever money you put into the non-registered account will be subjected to tax. But I like to teach newbie investors to take advantage of all of these other accounts that reduces your tax or does not or gives you the opportunity not to pay tax. So you should first make use of all of those accounts before you open the non-registered account, which is very vital. That is one thing I wish somebody told me before I started investing. I wish somebody told me that I should take advantage of my TFSA and my RRSP. So I didn't even open the TFSA or RRSP when I first started investing. I just jumped into the non-registered account, and oh my goodness, if I tell you the story and the outcome, we'll not live here today. Taxes upon taxes. I was like, how much is it that we are investing that people are taxing me like this? But please make use of the non-registered account after you have taken advantage of this tax free savings account, the RRSP and the FHSA. So it's very good that you understand what it is. So for instance, now, if you want access to your funds, the RRSP account might not be the best option for you to start with the TFSA, because with the TFSA, you can withdraw at any point in time. Does that make sense? If it does, please just give me a thumbs up so that we can move on. Let me see. Yes, it does. Awesome. Okay, great. Great. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the feedback. All right. Um, the truth is that having clarity can make, when you don't have clarity, right, investing can feel intimidating. But when you have a framework that you are following step by step, you'll see that investing can be as simple as ABC. I know this works because I have a framework that I use, and this is the same framework that I show my clients, and my clients have gotten results. One of my clients, Dotun, Dotun had she had invested in the stock market, but she did not have understanding when she started investing in the stock market. So she invested heavily in penny stocks. She wasn't careless, neither was she irresponsible, but it's just that she did not have a system that she followed. But once she came over to us and she showed us her investment account, because she had lost money on those penny stocks, she had lost quite a bunch of the amount that she had invested. So we put her through our system. Then she learns that she needs to follow a clear goal-driven approach. And that's what it is. You need a clear goal-driven approach. And once she started doing that, everything changed for her. So she stopped guessing penny stocks. She stopped buying stocks because they were cheap. Rather, she started following a system. She started following a structure. And she stopped reacting to news. And the greatest thing that made me excited was when I asked her, how does this make you feel? Her response was like she feels in control. And that's the point where I want you to get to, where you are investing in the stock market with confidence and you know that you are in control. Let me tell you about another of our clients, Shola. Shola had quite a huge amount of money in her savings account. But her concern was that the savings account was giving her very low returns because she had had that savings account for a couple of years. But she was afraid to invest in the stock market because she felt that she was going to lose the money. When she came to us, we took her through the process. And she also learned that you know what, you need to understand what is your risk tolerance level. Because when you are investing, you need to understand your risk tolerance level. Not only do you need to understand your risk tolerance level, you also need to have a diversified investment portfolio. These are some of the things. Okay, I was just trying to check the charts. Okay, yeah. These are some of the things that we took Shola through. And Shola used the same approach and Shola built her portfolio. And in less than 24 months, I believe, Shola had made about 10% return. Was it 8 or 10%? Yeah, between 5 to 8%. I'm sure her portfolio would have grown way, way higher, the growth that she has had on her portfolio. But you know what? The biggest shift wasn't necessarily the returns. For Shola also, it was the confidence that, oh, now, Tolu, thank you. I know what to invest in. I know what to look out for when I'm investing. And this is the pattern that I see again and again. When people stop guessing and when they start following a simple system, I like simple. Anything, and I tell people, if it's complicated, if you cannot explain it to a 10-year-old, then maybe you should not be investing in it. Because you work too hard for your money, that you should now allow your money to just, you know, go down the drain. If you agree that you work too hard for your money and you don't want your money to go down the drain, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know. If I'm the only one that thinks that, some people are like, I don't care. If we lose this one, we'll get another one. If you are like that, okay, me, I'm not like that though. I'm very careful. Like, I don't want my money to go because the plenty work we do to get this money, God help us. Is there anybody that thinks like me or thinks otherwise? Awesome. Thank you. Yes. So there is that confidence and there is that control that we need. And this is the pattern that I see again and again. When people stop guessing and they start following a simple framework, what follows is clarity. And once clarity comes, most often than not, the results will follow. The results will follow. At this point, you have two options. You can decide that you want to do this by yourself, um, or you can decide that, yes, you want to do this by yourself. But the thing is, especially if you are like, I don't have time for trial and error. Because when you do it yourself, you would have to watch countless videos. There might be some things that some people will tell you in one video, then another person will say something else, you know. Everything will just be, but it's doable. But the impact of that is that there's also the opportunity, there's also that probability that you waste a lot of time. Like before those that joined, those that came in quite early, I spoke, I call her Grandma Caroline. I just met her this year. She also saw my Instagram ad and then she jumped on earlier, like probably 3 weeks ago. And Grandma Caroline has started building her portfolio because she was like, I don't want to waste time. I want guidance. I want to start now. So if you want to build your portfolio in the shortest time possible, then maybe this is not something that you want to do by yourself. Like you don't want to start it by yourself. And there's also the costly mistake of, there's also the risk of losing money. Like I told you with Dotsu, one of our clients, where she had lost quite a number of money. And then there's the slow progress. However, on the other hand, if you want guidance, if you want to use our fast framework where we have step-by-step guidance, we have a proven system. And if you want confidence in your decision, if you want faster results, then I have something for you. If this is what you want, let me just see, give me a thumbs up. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure. If you want fast results, or if you, so let's do it this way. If you want to learn by yourself, put DIY in the comments. But if you want like a fast track, put fast track in the comment. I'm curious. I'm curious to see. I care too much. I care too. I care. Samuel, I care. Yeah, so I want both. I like this person that wants both. Fast track, fast track. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'll tell you what I have for you. I created a course that is called the World Launchpad. It's a 4-week online program. Let me show you. Let me show you. Oh, I jumped something. So I created a 4-week online program. It's a course that helps you to move from being unsure to a confident investor. And what I can assure you is that by the end, you feel confident. That's one thing, aside from the returns, because the returns will come. The returns will come. But one thing I always want my people to be is I want them to be confident about what they have invested in. So you feel confident managing your investment portfolio once we are done with this. And the thing is, you will stop overthinking and you will know exactly what to do. And you know the interesting part, the system we teach allows you to be able to automate these things so that you can keep doing other things and your money is working for you. And the beautiful part is that compounding, I don't like to use the word magic, right? Because I don't believe in magic, but compounding is doing its work. And the work compounding does, my goodness, it is amazing. The work compounding does. I'm sure quite a number of us have had the impact of what compounding does for our money in one respect or the other. Right. So I want you to feel confident. I want you to be able to know what to do month on month. I want you to be able to not be too concerned that, oh, I don't want you to panic, right? I want your money to be working for your future while you're focusing on your life. And here's how it will happen. I'll take you through a step-by-step system where we'll show you how to choose exchange traded funds. Because, like I told you that you need to download the app. After you download the app, you decide the investment account that fits your goal, and then you need to buy shares, stocks inside of that investment account. Now, um, so we'll teach you how to choose. We'll teach you and show you how to set up the right account, especially the ones that best fits you. And then we'll also teach you mistakes that you should. Because honestly, I learned by myself. It took me forever. Oh my goodness. It took me forever. Like it must have taken me more than 3 years in the learning process. And I made quite a number of mistakes. So from some of the mistakes that I have made and those that I've heard other people make, I have put down some ways you can avoid those mistakes. And at the end of the 4 weeks, you start investing in the stock market. One thing again we have is because there are countless number of ETFs, I've curated an ETF list where all you need to do is just pick from. And there's clear guidance and there's support. So you are not wondering, okay, what am I to do next? Where do I start from? Am I doing it right? I'm here to guide you all the way. So put simply or simply said, you don't just learn how to invest. You become an investor who is in control. Not only are you in control, you are building momentum and you are growing and building real financial future. And it takes out the confusion and it takes out the haziness that usually stops people from starting. That usually stops people from starting. Are we still together? So you might be wondering, what is in the course for you? Okay, I told you it will help you build confidence. You have a simple plan, you will avoid the mistakes, and it's just for 4 weeks. It's self-paced, and then you get a list that you get to choose from because you create a diversified portfolio. You create a diversified portfolio. I know that some people joined late, but Grandma Caroline had spoken on her experience. When you watch this replay, you see what she had said about about the course, right? About the course. So you might be wondering, the total cost, the value of it is over $1,000. But you know what? The pre-sale price is $599. And because you're on this call, I'm going to knock off $300 and you're going to get to pay $299. So that's the early bird discount that I'm giving anyone who thinks that I'm a good fit. Because at the end of the day, another thing is I want you to know that I am a good fit for you. Sorry. I want you to know that I'm a good fit for you. Sorry, I'm just a bit distracted. I'm trying to, can you elaborate? Okay, please just let me go back to the chat because I like to also be on the chat. Can you elaborate on how to choose the investment account that fits me? I don't really understand. Okay, I'll come back to that. Let's pack on that. I'll come back to that. Yeah, I'll come back to that. Case, did I pronounce your name properly? I'll come back to that. So, if you're interested and you think that I'm a good fit, like you want me to guide you on this journey, because yes, you can decide that, Tolu, thank you so much. You have told me what I need to get started, and I'm going to go run with this. And awesome, I want you to run with it. And I really want to hear how you're doing with it and the progress you've made. It gives me joy, right? To see that you're making progress. I don't just want you to get off this session today and you are like, oh, we're done. We just learned another thing. The most, whatever it is that you learned, I need you to go implement, whether you're joining or you're not joining the course. I need you to please implement and write to me to tell me as soon as you implement. But if you want me to guide you, you get a 50% discount where you get to pay only 299, and that starts today once you are able to do that today. And the good thing is, let me see, if you pay within 48 hours, you get to jump on a call with me, one on one, where I guide you on how to set up your investment account. And most importantly, like Kes asked, how to determine the investment account that best fits you, how to determine the investment account that best fits you, because investment account that we start with differ according to our needs. So let me go back to our question. The investment account that best fits you would honestly be based on what you are looking forward to achieving. That's how you need to understand. That's where you start from. Like, what do I want to achieve? What flexibility do I want? How long do I want to stay invested? Those are some of the things you need to consider to be able to choose the investment account that first fits you. So, like, for instance, if buying a house in 10 years from now is what you are looking forward to, then you want to think of opening the FHSA account. But if buying your first home in 24 months from now, then you are looking at the FHSA, but not the investment account, but the savings account. Did that make sense, Case? So that's how we get to. But once you get on the call with me, we can discuss this thoroughly and we can know what best fits you. So for anyone that is interested and you want a one-time payment, you get to save $50. There's no follow-up. Once you pay one time, you get to pay just $299. But for those that want installments, there is two installmental payments. The first one you make, you do 175, and then 10 days later, you make the balance. But it's the same program, it's the same result. The only thing you're doing is you're splitting your payments. The only thing again is for those that pay within 48 hours, they get on a one-on-one call with me. But even if you don't get on a one-on-one call with me, in the videos, in those lessons, I have guided you on how to go about creating those accounts. And then when we come on our group calls, if you have questions, you can always ask me a question. So, but the 48 hours bonus, the fast action bonus, is for those that want like a one-on-one with me. And even if it's not necessarily about their investment account, if it's about something else that relates to their finances, we can always talk about that. But that's for those that pay full amount in the next 48 hours. Does that make sense? Are we still together? So, um, I want you to choose control. I want you to choose confidence, and I want you to save thousands of dollars. Honestly, if you decided that you wanted to go with a financial advisor, some of them will be asking for as high as 25K minimum, and they'll be asking for an annual fee. And most of the time, what I see with them, I don't have anything against them, but I see that they give generic advice and then you have to rely on them. But what we are doing with the Wealth Launchpad is we're saying just start with $300 for us to guide you, and then you choose how much you want to invest consistently in the stock market. We're just asking for one-time payments. After that, there's nothing else we're asking you for. And you get to drive this, you get to fly this plane, this your investment plane by yourself, right? You are not relying on anybody because you have the confidence and you know what it takes to do this by yourself. Are we still together? I think I missed something. Are we still together? I know when it comes to money talk, sometimes people are like, these people, I know that's what they will always say. Well, but I told you beforehand. Thank you. Thank you. So, if you are worried about getting started, if you are thinking, oh, I'm new to investing, This course is absolutely for beginners. It's for beginners. You do not need any prior experience. You do not need to be a numbers person. We have broken it down to the simplest way possible for beginners to start. Now, you might also be wondering, oh, these ETFs, you do not need to worry about those things. We have provided a list that you can choose from. And we also guide you on what you should look out for when you are choosing from these ETFs. And you honestly, the lists are so similar that you really do not have to be afraid because the list is from a list of timeless ETFs that have given returns in the stock market over the years. Now, if you are thinking that, oh, I don't have too much money to start, you can start investing like somebody said. I think it was Samuel that said that he wants to start investing with $100. And honestly, that is fine. Most especially once you stay consistent. And if you are thinking that, oh, I don't have the time, the lessons, like I mentioned before now, that they are self-paced, they are short, because even me, I don't like too much. I don't like long story, right? I want everything to be short and brief, and it's designed to fit your schedule. So it's self-paced, but the only thing is that we'll come together based on what you've watched. You can then ask me your questions. You can then ask me your questions. So if you're thinking that this is it really good for me, I've created this and I had you in mind when I created it. So this is what is possible. This is just a snippet of one of my investment portfolio. This is not everything. This is just one. I've made by the time I created this that was last year when I created this slide and I took this snippet on one of my investment portfolio, my money had grown about 61%. Now, while I say my money has grown about 61%, there's no guarantee. But the truth is that the stock market, especially when you invest in diversified funds, the stock market is actually growing and the stock market is giving returns. The stock market is growing and is giving returns, especially when you have decided that you want to stay in it for the long term. So I'm showing you what is possible. As of today, honestly, my portfolio is not 61%. It has grown. I don't look at my portfolio regularly, but I am sure, I am certain that my portfolio has grown much more than this 61% that you see. But I'm showing you this to show you what is possible. And I'm showing you this, especially for those that think they are ready. I'm showing you this to say that please don't overthink it. Start now. Whether you start with me, I've said this how many times now, whether you start with me or you start by yourself, please start now. So you might be wondering what happens after you pay. When you pay, you get the confirmation email, you get a welcome letter, you join the Telegram community, and there will be a virtual welcome party on January 31st, and we open the first module on the 2nd of February. So the modules are going to be released weekly, and we're going to have coaching calls weekly. So after you've watched the video, if there's something you didn't understand, we jump on a coaching call, and then you can ask your questions. Awesome. I'll drop the link I'll drop the link before we go into the question and answer. I'll drop the link in the chat for those that that believe that, okay, I want guidance. I really want to do this. If you really want to do this, let's even start with that. If you really want to do this, I want you to say, I want to do it. Please repeat the split payment method. Or, oh, sorry about that. So the payment, thank you for helping me with that, Nick. So the payment, you do 175 today. No, the twice payment, is it 175 times 2 or 175 and 124? Let's go back there. It's 175 today and 175 after 10 days. Does that make sense? For the person that asked that question, let me go back to that slide. So it's 175. You pay 172 payment of 175 today and then 175 after 10 days. Does that make sense? Let's see. And how long are we going to have access to me for 4 weeks? But if you do you have access to me for 4 weeks all through the period of the all through the period of the course. And then afterwards, you can always drop me an email. And for those that pay full in 48 hours, aside from the 4 weeks where you have access to me, you also have one call with me that's one-on-one, where we can discuss setting up your investment account, deciding which investment account fits you, or any other financial issue. Does that make sense, Nick? Okay. Abiola said the problem I might have is the course you just talked about. How long is it before one can understand? In 4 weeks. Okay, I don't know. Is Grandma Caroline still on? So probably because she just got off the call. She just finished off the course. She just finished the course, I think last 2 weeks. Grandma Caroline did it in 2 weeks, I believe. I don't know if she's
Yes.
still on the call. Please, can
Yeah,
you?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
You can actually cut the pace. I think the ball is in your court. You don't
Yeah.
have to because of the material. It depends on you. If you
Yeah.
want to do it in 1 week, you can. It depends on your timing. What time do you have available to do it? And you have to be consistent and committed. That's what I would say. It might not be too easy. Maybe after your 9 to 5, you have kids to look after, this and that. But commitment will drive you to allocate a time, maybe every day or whatever, every other day, to be able to do it. So you can shorten the time.
Thank you, Grandma. So what another thing I'll say, especially because Grandma took the one-on-one program with me. But for the group coaching, maybe I should put some clarity around it. For the group coaching, what I do is I release the courses weekly so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, right? So that you don't feel like, how do I finish up all of these things? So grandma came on the one-on-one call and grandma wanted speed. So also, if you just want to take your time, because even when you're done, you do not, after we are done with the 4 weeks, I don't cut your access to the course. You still have access to the course. Abiola, are you with me? So you still have access to the course. So you said it's 4 weeks or so. Yes, 4 weeks. So 4 weeks, but even after 4 weeks, you still have access to the course and you can still send me emails. But what I want is that at the end of 4 weeks, I want you to have created your investment account and I want you to start investing. And that's why I make it 4 weeks. Because I don't want you to now think that you have all the time. Then 1 year we go. Because I'm sure quite a number of us, we've bought some courses that we've not finished. And I don't want this to be another course that you've bought and you've not finished. And this course is not about theory, it's about implementation. So that by the end of 4 weeks, you are going out of it saying that I came in with zero investment. Now I have $500 invested in the stock market. Now I have $1,000 invested in the stock market. Does that make sense? I think you said yes. But if you need clarity, please let me know. Awesome. Thank you for asking that question. Okay, let's jump into. Okay, yes, I said I was going to drop in the comment box. Yes, so please, if you are interested in the course, let me see. If you will want guidance, put guidance. If you want to do it yourself, put DIY. While I try to pull up the link for the course. Does that work? You are interested, Abiola. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. So I just dropped in the link. So this is not open forever because we need to start. I told you that we're going to start next week. Saturday is going to be our welcome party for those that get on the group coaching call. And then by 2nd of February, there's going to be the release of the first module. And then the first Saturday in February, we're going to have our first group coaching call. We're going to have our first group coaching call. So please take action because by this time next week, Friday, we're going to close out on registration so that we can know those that are in and we can start attending to them. Does that make sense? So please remember, you are your biggest asset. And I want you to invest in yourself because before you start investing in the stock market, the first investment you should do is invest in yourself. Quite a number of times, people lose money on the stock market because they did not invest in themselves. They don't understand, and I don't want you to be part of those people. I want you to make the most of it. I want you to make the most of it. Awesome. So please invest in yourself. Awesome. Bukola, please, I love to hear your voice and I love to hear people's voice. And I'm really grateful that you kicked off that pattern. So please go again, unmute yourself and ask me your question.
Okay, my question is that okay, I want guidance actually.
Mm-hmm.
However, like you said, it's either we'll start now or we keep losing time for every time we postpone it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have questions around those accounts. For
Okay.
example, if you don't have like a 9 to 5 job,
Yeah,
you
it's still,
understand?
yeah. Go
If
ahead.
you don't have like a 9 to 5 job, or if you have
Mm-hmm.
a contract job, how do
Yeah.
you open all those TFSA accounts and all? Is it possible to open it? Those are the questions that I have. And then for the course,
Yeah.
is it going to be a class, a kind of a Zoom call kind of course, or we just have to watch the videos first and
Oh,
learn?
you watch the videos and there'll be a Zoom call every week.
Okay, so the timing of the Zoom call, because for someone that is maybe probably doing maybe another program somewhere, not this kind of course, maybe
Okay.
if you have a personal program that you're running, so
Sure.
that you want to be very sure that it's not something that will clash, so that you don't lose out on them.
Sure. So let me tell you, based on the timing, then we'll come back to that funding. But please stay on. Don't unmute yourself. Thank you so much. Thank
All
you.
right,
So the calls are usually same time like this, 4 to 5
four
on
to five
on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Yes,
Okay,
on Saturday.
okay,
And then the next thing is that you have a replay. I send the replay of those calls, but I like people to be on those calls. You get
all
what I
right.
mean? Because I like it that on those calls, sometimes some people actually, if they actually complete the task or hear what other people are doing and execute. You get? And that's why I brought in the calls because most especially before you get out of the course, I want you, even if it's $100, I want you to have invested that $100 in at least one exchange traded fund. Does it make sense?
It does.
Awesome. So with regards the funding, I'll go back to Grandma Caroline again because I don't know if she's comfortable talking about it, but let me ask her if she's comfortable, especially from an income perspective. If
No
she's
problem.
comfortable. Yes. Okay. Please,
No
Grandma,
problem.
go ahead. Do you want to tell us do you have like a source of income in
No.
Canada at this time?
No. No.
Okay. Awesome.
All right,
Bukola,
fantastic then.
yes.
All right.
I didn't want it to. And honestly, I don't know her. I just got to know her when I started this ad. And then when I got to know her, she was like, I'm over 65. I'm like, no, you're my grandma. So that's why I call her grandma. It's not like she's my grandma from somewhere that I know before, right? But I have adopted her as another of my grandma because I have plenty grandmas, right? So Bukola, you really do not need to have but the only thing is, and that's why I say you should know what you are comfortable
Yeah.
with. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
And what you can be consistent with.
Mm.
Does it make
Yeah.
sense? Oh,
It
awesome.
does. It
Awesome.
does.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Apologies if I went on mute and disturbed. No, no, no. No. Who is that? Abiola, no, you didn't. Okay, no. I don't think I heard anything. Okay, because I was hoping or thinking it would be a live call class. Please, can you elaborate on that? What were you thinking would be a live class? Do we get the understanding after watching the videos? Oh, yes. Oh,
Mm.
yes. And maybe again, I don't know. Do you want somebody else to tell you so that it will not be like it's only me? And even if you don't, you would get understanding because most of the videos, I don't think there's any of the lessons that is more than 10 minutes. Does that make sense, Abiola? They are short and I try to make them as simple. Like you would see, even these our conversations we've had in this masterclass. Was there anything that you found vague? Maybe you should let me know.
Mm.
Okay, she says she can't talk at the moment. No, okay, so it's quite simple. It's quite simple to understand. And that's one of the feedback that I get from more than 10 people, this new course that I just created, because this one is new, is different from what I have been running in time past. One feedback I have gotten is that it's quite simple to follow. So yes, and if you have questions, like I mentioned, every week we have a coaching call where you can ask your questions. And aside from that, you can always shoot me an email. And for those that might have been conversant with me, you know that quite, I respond to emails quite, I respond to emails fast. Yeah. Did I miss anybody? I think I saw Nick saying something. David, apologies. What did David say if I went on mute and disturbed the conversation? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Yes. Okay. Questions, please. Let me see if there's any other question in the chat. The um the email address. The email address where you can ask me questions. Is that what you're asking, Abiola? Okay. Tolu@pfmacademy.com. I just shared it with you. That's the same email that I've been using to share, that I've been sending you emails with. So you can reply to any of those emails that you got in your inbox. Okay, let's go to the questions while people are signing up. Please, if you signed up, please let us know. Let me give you a shout out. If you signed up, let me know. Let me give you a shout out. Do you have questions?
I still have questions, sorry.
Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know the way they say that you can still negotiate anything, even in the supermarket. Is that still
I like you.
is it possible? Because I want to be very frank with you. I'm
Yeah,
sure a lot of people on the call,
yeah,
they want to do this
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Sometimes um maybe the cost sometimes is what drives people away. I understand the
Mhm.
fact that you can look at sometimes there are losses we make, you know, that you can spread this cost over time if you look at but is it possible to still go down a little more for people that might want to still join?
Ah, my goodness. I wish I could. I wish I could. But at this time, this is like, because I also have running costs, right? If you get, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, I have running costs that I must also cover. You get what I mean?
I
So,
do.
yes. So at this time, oh my goodness, it would break my back a bit. It will break my back a bit. The only thing I can do is I can spread out more payment. But again, when the payment is long, I've had people not, I'm telling you sincerely, I'm being vulnerable. I've had
I
people not
get
pay,
you.
and then I now begin to send them emails, oh, please pay. And they're like, oh, I cannot pay now, you know.
Mm.
And
I
and
get
I
you.
all
I'll send you a message. I'll
okay,
send you a
sure.
message.
Okay, yes. Let's
All
let's
right.
let's connect offline. Yes,
All right.
awesome. Let's connect
Where do I
offline.
send the message to? To
So
your
Tolu@pfmacademy.com.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Does any other person have? Thank you, Bukola. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, can you just drop that okay, maybe the message. Oh, all right, okay, I've seen it. I've seen the
Okay.
Toluat. All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Or you can reply to any of the
Of the emails you sent to us, right?
Yes,
All right,
yes. Who
fantastic.
is
Thank
this
thank
person again now? Oh, Bukola, you have started something.
No worries, Tolu, you'll be good.
Uh, please, how do I, can I just call you Timmy? Oh, Nick, I use my iPad. Okay, okay. Nick, um, Bukola did speak for me though. I would send you an email too to see the possibility of more payment option. Hey, more payment option, more money. Do you agree? If you agree, fine, we can do this. David, do you want to speak out? I like people talking to me. I like people talking to me. How much extra?
Let me speak on myself. Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Nicholas. Okay, so
Okay.
me, I really want to, take part in it. And I'll go for the twice payments, but
Mm-hmm.
I would like to make the first payment on Monday.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, all right, thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. So yeah, I look forward to it.
All
I
right.
look forward to it. And once you make the payment, automatically the access, you get access. And honestly, everybody that is asking me for discount, when you watch those videos, honestly, you will see that you short paid me. Abiola said, where are we paying into? I shared the link, but let me share it again. You will
This
see that you will see that you short paid me, but let me share the link
is a
again.
sister saving a soul, saving souls.
Hmm. Hmm. Sister has to remain in business, so you people please, oh. Because when you start making your
Hi,
plenty money
Tolu.
in the stock market now, I will not hear you
Hi, Tolu.
again. Hi, hi,
Hi,
hi,
Tolu. Oh, yeah,
hi.
this is David. I chose to speak instead of chatting. So,
Thank you.
for me, right,
Hmm.
I see there's lots of resources you're going to be giving to us to, catch up on things. For
Yeah.
me, at some level I already have a Web Simple account. I
Hmm.
have some ETFs I'm playing with, but my mind is so open that there's so much I can learn from you, right? So it's not like
Definitely.
I'm trying to give an option of pay lesser just to get some more few information to guide what I'm doing already. No, I'm open to like learn from scratch, like I've not started anything, right? So, but
Hmm.
when Bukola was talking about, like can you still be considerate to beat it down? I was like, I'm up for that. Not because I want to pay less for lesser knowledge. No, I want to pay something that I can jump on because of the window period you have to make payments for. You know what I mean? So that's what I was saying. The possibility of probably spreading more, like you said twice, I probably just want to be able to see how it's convenient to get on. And I know what you were vulnerable about. I do not think I want to play that role of saying, you send me emails and say what of the payment, and I wouldn't. But I'm probably looking for something a little bit more comfortable to be able to go accordingly and pay in installments. That's why I was saying how much
So,
extra or what room you can.
okay. Honestly, because this is all preset, do you get? And you're putting me on the spot. I don't even know what to say. Because I don't want to spread it too. Do you get? I don't. Okay, you know what? Let me hear you out. What do you want?
So I think you said two payments is kind of like the only option apart from paying the
In
full
full,
one.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I probably am trying to play around three payments. I necessarily do not want to say, okay, yeah, bring down you've already said stuff like if you have to spread it more, I'm likely going to pay more extra. And that's why in the chat I said, how extra? Like how extra can it be that it would be like, okay, it's not what it's paying three times, But at the same time, I cannot pay. I currently probably cannot do the one-time payment immediately.
How about the
Uh,
two times?
yeah, that's it. So, I mean, two times I'm paying one now, and then in 10 days, I have to pay the next one, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and it's the same cost, right? So I'm
No,
trying to
when you
look at
say it's the same cost, what do you mean by it's the same cost?
like 175 now and then 175 in 10 days, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I probably can do 175, like, say within now Monday, and then
Mm-hmm.
10 days later is like
A
less than
push.
2 weeks. Yeah, so I'm looking at if it's possible to break it in three payments. I pay one on Monday, then you give one, I can pay the next one, and then the third one, all within the same 4 weeks of give or take the
Okay,
whole
you know what? Let's take this
platform.
offline. Send me an email. Let me see what I can do.
Okay, that'll be better. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I can't even think, 'cause I don't even know. I'm telling you the truth. I don't even know what to say, right? Because initially, I really don't even do two installments. I do only one. But the feedback I got from the last set of group coaching call that I had, they kind of thought that one was a lot. So I decided, that, okay, let's do the two installment. And honestly, there's no way I would do the two installments and have it at the same price. It would be unfair to those that are paying the lump sum, right? And then aside from that, there's also the risk of default you get, right? So that's why um you had that extra because you would see that when you pay the full, you just pay 300, but when you pay in installments, you get to pay $50 extra. But the truth is that what you're going to get is more than all this back and forth that we are going on. Honestly, is more than this back and forth. But okay, send me an email. Send me an email. Let's see. Yeah. Does anybody have? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for raising your concerns. Yeah, thank you. Does any other person have any other thing? Questions? Let me stop recording because we're done. It's just the questions at this time.